Hello, hello. I feel like these have been really cheesy start outs, and the first thing that comes to mind is hello, hello. Um, Gonna have to think of something cooler or not, because sometimes the cheesy, like cliche stuff is the most natural, and sometimes, you know, I'm a big fan of cringe, and anyone who knows me, like Vivian, knows that I'm a huge fan of cringe. So if I gotta be a little bit cringe, um, to make a couple people laugh, then I'll be cringe all day long. So yeah, hello, hello. On that note, welcome to Forest Queen Energy, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, my story, my stage. And tonight I was really, first of all, this is Jim Hare before I get cyberbullied by Vivian. This is Jim Hare. I freshened it up a little bit just for this. So I think I did a half decent job in the 5 minutes I had. I did throw on a hat to cover up the mat of hair on top of my head. And I just like that it says Forest Queen. It makes me feel really empowered. And I feel very empowered whenever I wear a hat, a headlamp. I'm carrying trekking poles, um, gloves, like sporty gloves. Like, okay, she's doing something with those gloves. Those gloves just aren't for warmth, they're for an activity. And that's when I feel like the most empowered is when I'm, wearing any of those things. It makes me feel like a diva, like I can just take on the world because I'm Miss Sporty. And on that note, I'm wearing a shirt that you can't really, I mean, I don't think it has anything on the front, but looky here on the back, Mount Rainier, my AKA my favorite mountain in the US thus far. Mount Rainier is so majestic. Um, for those who have seen, give my mouth a rest. Nope, I'm going to be yapping for who knows how long, maybe a half an hour, maybe an hour. I've never really given like a time limit on my live streams. I just kind of go with the flow and see where it takes me. I actually do have to get things done today because I've been working on a book basically for the last 8 months about ketamine. Or, God, TikTok doesn't allow me to talk about this kind of stuff, but I've been working on a book about K, special K. And yeah, I started basically as soon as I quit my job. And I was just like, okay, this needs to get out to the world. All of because this could really help people. And I felt like a lot of the information at the clinic I worked at was kind of being hoarded, or you could tell they were like very like secretive about it because it is a money-making business. And I have nothing against businesses making money. I even made a point to say that in the book. Like I'm very for small business. Um, and I don't believe, and I'm for big business too. I mean, I think that, you know, if we look at and I'm not going to go into the conversation about micro and macroeconomics on here, but I have nothing against people trying to make money. But I felt like there was a lot of information that the public or people that are interested in the treatment could benefit from. And I was like, okay, I have to get this information out there. Okay, I'm going to just say hello to a few people here. Anthony, Mark, Michael, and Chad. It almost sounds like a song. Anthony, Mark, Michael, Chad. I love the token, like, I don't know, Lauren's like a very common name too. Lauren, Allison, Jessica, Heather. I just made that up off the top of my head. How talented I am. Let's see here. So, yeah, been writing the book. I just finished editing it yesterday, and I had to do, and I'm doing all of this myself, and it has been a lot of work and a lot of research. And me and ChatGPT have been working really, really hard. I put ChatGPT to work. I made him work for his money. His $20 a month does not go in vain. Um, He has been my copy editor through this process, and he's been helping me write out the reflection prompts, the guided journaling, etc., etc. North Carolina, Toby and my best friend Tristan. Oh, hello, a trio of men. I love it. The more the merrier on Forest Queen Energy. Um, but yeah, just a long, tedious process. And I love my chat GPT. I get a lot of hate about and I wouldn't say I'm obsessed with ChatGPT. I am obsessed with utilizing the tools that we have. And, I can't afford a publisher, number one. I can't afford a designer. Even when I did my photo shoot for this book, I did my own hair, makeup. I was the photographer. I on my iPhone 11 Pro, by the way, before I got upgraded at Christmas. Um, I did the self timer thing and then I just ran back into my spot. And then I was like, doing all these like poses and stuff, like I'm looking up into the sky because that's kind of my cover. And I wish I could show you guys my cover. Maybe I'll show it tomorrow because I didn't take a picture of it before I started the stream. But in the off chance it is syncing, and it is to my iPhone 11 Pro, which we won't go back too far in the pictures. You never know what's going to show up in your photo reel. Thankfully, I've basically been celibate for the last 3 years, so I don't think there's anything too spicy going on in here. However, I did have a pretty saucy Christmas photo shoot, and I had planned to love how your eyes match your hair. Oh, thanks, Toby. Um, I'm going a little bit darker these days. I used to be like more blonde, and now I'm kind of going a little bit more on the natural side. Um, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. When somebody goes in your photo reel. I had a friend one before I even show you guys the cover of my book. Um, one of my friends, and I was like, I was getting like heart palpitations. She took and I would never do this to anybody. And Doug and Vivian probably know who I'm talking about. I know Doug's not on here, but he always watches. He's my biggest supporter. He watches my live streams on my YouTube after the fact. And so they know who I'm talking about with this, but we were sitting on her bed. Forget about like what we were talking about. And all of a sudden, like it is almost as if like a girl who suspects the guy of cheating and she like snatches his phone and like goes through the phone real quick. Or like if she thinks that he's asleep, she's seen him put in the code, she's got, her ducks in a row and she snatches the phone and tries to get him caught, in a salacious message. Well, my friend took my damn phone right out of my hands. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is kind of, hey, Bat, thank you. In your phone is like your sacred, it's like your life, there could be things in there, as with me there's nothing too crazy. There's no nudes that I know of in my phone, but but I do talk some shit sometimes. And I try not to talk shit unless it's like deserved and I need to vent and that person hasn't provided me like a safe space to talk to them about it. So then I vent with my friends about I vent to my friends about it because I can't talk to them. I'd rather just talk to them. But if somebody does not give you a safe space, they show a history of being really defensive or they snap back at you, and you're just most of the time, like if I can't talk to somebody directly, it's because I'm afraid they're going to snap back at me and like demean me in the process. And I would just be sharing my feelings and they would snap back at me and make me feel like the scum of the earth for even bringing it up in the first place. So that's not a safe space to express your feelings. So what does one do? One has to talk a little bit of shit. This is what happens. If you don't want shit talked about you, just provide a safe space. It's not hard. It's not hard. I'm feeling a little bit sassy tonight. I was telling Doug, I was like, when I get in moods, when I get fired up about something, I have this energy that comes over me, and I'm like, bam, 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 like, and that's not my typical. I'm not a domineering person. I'm nice. I describe myself as a golden retriever gal, and that's honestly who I am. But especially these days, if a man crosses me, you're bam, 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 bam. I'm gonna light your fucking ass up. And I was like, Doug, I was like, I think these dudes like that. I was like, I think I'm being sassy here. And they fucking like it. And they're begging for more. And it's just kind of fun for me. You know, a gal has several moods, several moods. I certainly have the opposite end of the spectrum, and I have a very like emo mood. And there were some people in high school that would describe me as emo because I was emotional. And I'm still emotional. I show my feelings, and I wasn't going to let society rob me of that. Hasn't gotten me like too far in life, but I have a small circle of good friends, and I have joy in my soul. So I don't think I'm doing too bad here. Okay. So, oh yeah, let's get back to my friend snatching my phone. So she snatches my phone, and I'm just like stunned. And I was like, should I? Hey, LeBron. Doing good. Just busy, busy, man. I'm self-publishing a book right now. Um, and I'm reminiscing about my friend snatching my phone. So first like reaction of mine is like my heart starts to pound because I was like, shit, I don't know if I've talked shit about her in my phone. I was like, I don't want her to see that. And I was like, I don't even know if I did or if I didn't. But and it's just kind of embarrassing. Yeah, sure, you can ask as long as I welcome respectful questions. I have had some disrespectful questions, and I don't appreciate it, but respectful questions, playful questions are welcome too. I'm not a prude. Um, but yeah, you start going in your head like, okay, what could this person possibly come across in your phone? What's girls' opinions on nerds? It takes until your 30s probably. And now that I'm 39, I like nerds. Nerds read wholesome, nerds read I'm not gonna fuck you over. However, um even nerds can fuck you over. But I think that yeah, wholesome energy is the best energy. That's number one, I think, on my list of what I would like in a partner, is wholesome. So I feel like LeBron, if you're 18 and you're just being put out into the world, um, just keep being wholesome. And it might take some time for the girls to catch up, but honestly, the Gen Z ladies, and I don't know if 18 is still considered Gen Z or if that's the next generation. Some of my friends have like 16 and 17-year-olds, and if I was, a part of their lives, I think the one thing that I would try, and I don't have kids of my own. Good God, I'm a fucking old lady now. I can't. Fucking old. Um, but if there would be one thing that I could implant in a young man, it would be to be a gentleman and do the cliche things, you know. Even if the girl says that she doesn't want it, she does. So, flowers, candy, taking her out to eat, making her a home cooked meal, saying that she's pretty if she puts makeup on, saying that she's pretty when she doesn't put makeup on. But it's important to have both. You got to tell her she's pretty with and without makeup. And if she ever asks if it looks like she gained weight, never say that it looks like she has. And that's pretty much, some good rules of thumb. Always open the door. Every single door, should be opened. Just be yourself. My husband's, oh, when he's chiming in, my husband's a nerd, but a good sense of humor and a nice personality. Yeah, there's nothing, there's nothing scientific about it necessarily. It is literally be a gentleman be kind, and if you can make her laugh, then, like just like Whitney says, like that's golden. That's golden because I think all we're looking for in life, anybody on this planet, is just looking to share joy and smiles and laughter and just find other people that make you smile and that you can make smile too. And then we can all just share smiles with one another. And, let's see, he's asking another question that isn't bad, but kind of weird. Weird is welcome in Forest Queen energy, so ask away. And then I'll get back to the friend who snatched my phone. It's a genuine question, by the way, no bad intentions, just wanting girls' advice. This one sounds like it's going to be spicy, you guys. I don't know what LeBron's on tidy. Oh, okay. Yeah. A little bit spicy here. What's girls' opinion on tidy whities? To be honest, I wear them. Please be honest. You know what? I don't think I've ever gone out with a guy who wore tidy whities. I don't know that I have an opinion. I'm not an expert on male underwear. I've been avoiding males pretty much for the last 3 years now. Maybe I'm not the best person to ask about any of this. I'm no expert, LeBron. I'm no expert. If any other girls would like to chime in on that question, LeBron, I'm at a loss for words pretty much. I don't have an opinion on tidy whities. I Yeah, I have a zero opinion. All right, other women in the chat. Honestly, LeBron, I don't know that there are like many other women in the chat. And I feel like Forest Queen energy draws a lot of dudes. It doesn't draw a lot of females. There's been there's been a couple girls, come in and out of the chat. No nose junk. Uh, okay, we got a dude chiming in. Nice, no nose junk. Is a nose the part of the penis? Is that what we're referring to here? Okay, Whitney. Whitney, thank God a woman chimed in. No, no tidy whities. Okay, all right. Well, there you have it, LeBron. I would stick to. I feel like most of the men I've gone out with have chosen to wear boxer briefs. I'd have to go really back in time. Nose jelly. I don't know what nose jelly is. I mean, I'm trying to. I have an idea. I have an idea. But maybe there was a guy or two in the past that were just boxers, but I feel like most men wear boxer briefs, as far as I know. Is there any reason though? Just it's a beer. Oh, well, fuck's sake, man! I'm way off base then. I was telling the stream yesterday. I was like, if you make a joke and it's, you know, sexual or even heading in that realm, I was like, shit's gonna fly right over my head. Like, I don't pick up on jokes. I am very much an over analyzer. I'm very esoteric in a lot of ways. And I'm very like, but I'm also very literal. Like, you almost need to spell out the joke for me to be able to get it. And I can't really explain that. I don't know. It's just me. They're not sexy. Okay, so let's circle back. I love these tangents, but I do want to get through the friend snatching the phone. If anyone else has had their phone snatched before, it's not a good feeling. So she proceeds to scroll through my messages, I think from the past like 30 days. She's scrolling. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, why? I was like, why are you scrolling through my phone in my head? But I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to be weird about it. Not that that was weird. I think what she was doing was more weird, but I didn't want to give her any inclination that I was scared of her finding something that I didn't want her to see. And so I was just trying to be really quiet and put on like a cool exterior, but I'm not sure why. And then she scrolls through all my pictures and I was like, oh my God. And first of all, I screenshot a lot of nonsense. If somebody says something funny to me, if it's something I want to remember with a conversation with somebody, whether it's a dude or a girl, whatever, I screenshot it and I save it. I have like some folders on my phone that I save these conversations to, not as receipts, to like come at them with a later time, but receipts for myself because either I want to go back and laugh at it, or I remember like, oh, this person's a dick, look what he said, but not that I would ever like, send it back to him or something. So I don't know. I was like, oh my God, she's going to see all my screenshots. And at that time, I think I was on Hinge for like a week, and I screenshotted a lot of like Hinge boys. And I was like, I don't want her to see who I've been talking to on Hinge because that's embarrassing. I was not having an affair. I'm single. And I haven't been dating for the past 3 years. So there's no chance of me having an affair because I'm not attached to anybody and haven't been for years. Um, let's see. Maybe she was afraid I was having an affair with another woman and she was afraid that I was better friends with somebody else versus her. I'm not really sure. Snatching. Yeah, I'm single. Okay. So she goes through the picture, she goes through the text messages. I forget what else she goes through. She makes a couple funny remarks, but that's it. But I just thought that it was like a gross invasion of privacy to go through somebody's phone. And I was like, I never would have done that to her. I think it's odd. I think it's odd, and I think that she was trying to find something, you know. So anyhow, let's see what else I had on the agenda. Oh yeah, the publishing of the book. Let's get through that. So today, now that my edits are done, um, what was I doing? I was working on the cover, which is exciting, but anything, and I don't know if we have any creatives on here, but anything creative, like a work of art, a poem, a book, here, technically I'm a creator on here. Words are creations, and they take work. It isn't, I make this look very easy, but it is not easy. And the other creators, I'm sure, feel the same exact way. Um, but yeah, any creative piece you're putting together, it takes a lot of like mental energy, and your head starts to hurt. And I'm between jobs right now, but fuck, it feels like I've been working since I've been out of my regular job. You do a podcast? Yeah. I mean, more props to you because I can understand that firsthand now. Like when you are on camera and you're expected to come out with words, for anything and everything and pivot and answer questions and kind of almost have divided attention. I kind of have like a makeshift agenda on my phone in my notes section. But then I also have to be able to pivot when comments come up because I want to engage. And that's the most fun part of this all is engaging. And then just, yeah, fill up the time with words. Um, my friend Danny got me into it because he saw my Instagram stories and thought, hey, if Lauren is doing this already, if she's already talking like this, might as well do it on TikTok where it could potentially be monetized. I have conversations with, yes, that's basically what is happening, Doug. I was literally having conversations with myself on these Instagram stories. And Danny was like, well, might as well do it on TikTok. Yeah, what when I have the potential to maybe monetize it and um, you know, we'll see what happens with all that. For right now, it's just me having fun on here, but if it can be monetized, I'm certainly all for that. I need some money so I can fuel my hiking expenses. And I guess that's mostly what I'm trying to do in life is I want to maintain a sense of independence and fund my hiking. And that's basically all I want in life. That's all I want. I'm a simple gal. And so the cover that I have right now, let's see what you guys think about it. I know my friend Vivian had some constructive criticism, and so I might change the font. But if you guys can see that, I know it's like kind of backwards, but the book is called Ketamine Journey, and it has me looking up into the sky and just like if I could do it with like a sense of wonder. And I chose that picture for good reason. I wanted it to elicit a sense of like wanderlust. And I love the forest and I love space. I love the sky. And I put this bird on there on purpose. I'm going to kind of zoom in on the bird, but I created that with AI. I was like, I want, and here's what I typed in. I typed, make me a mystical, magical, enchanted forest bird that's green. And this is what it came up with. And it reminds me of there was a painting in one of the clinic rooms that had a green parrot type bird on it, and it was literally facing the K chair. And a lot of every patient, well, not every patient, but a lot of patients would remark about the bird, and they would even say that the bird would show up in their psychedelic experiences. And I just kind of felt a connection to this bird too, because so many of my patients had a connection with the bird. And I was like, oh, I have to add this on the cover and, kind of have it in a place, like a strategic spot to where it is like kind of following me from behind as though the bird symbolizes support. And that's what it means to me, at least, like the way that I'm trying to support people on their K journeys. Um, and we'll see. I might rejoin the psychedelic space after I'm done these through hikes, or maybe after the next one. I'm really not sure. I'm leaving some of it open to the universe, but I say that, but then I know that the universe is me, and if you want to make something happen, you got to do it yourself. But I do feel like there is an element of luck and running into the right people at the right time. I believe in the having a mentor, and if you can get a good mentor, somebody that's above you, that's been there, done that, that is willing to help you along, that can make the difference for people in this world, whether you make it or not, is having that mentor. So I'm almost in a way like in a search for a mentor. But weirdly enough, along my journey, I'm figuring out that maybe I'm the mentor. Maybe all of my traumas and struggles and hurdles and things like that have made me come to a place where I'm now the mentor. I'm now the leader. But even a great leader knows that you get your best wisdom and your best support from your team, and you're nothing without your team. You're only as good as every member that's on your team. I'm in Pennsylvania right now, rad bad daddy. I don't want to be in Pennsylvania right now. However, we did have a good weather day. It got up to 50 degrees, which is crazy. It's been around 30. So if I had gotten back from the gym on, when I was supposed to, I would have gone for a walk. But then I got, you know, in deep and kind of designing my book cover. And once I get, in my zone, in my creative zone, it's hard to get me out of it. And then my mom put on Stranger Things, so I'm looking forward to getting back to to Stranger Things. I'm so addicted right now to Stranger Things. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I was filling in my friend. Yeah, I got, I don't want to be a hater of states. I just wish that there was some mountains for me to hike here. I think that I wouldn't have a problem with the coldness outside. And by the way, Rad Bad Daddy, like I have lived most of my life in Tampa. Like I just have like thin blood to begin with. So you put me in cold weather, I don't do that great. Um, but even so, if you put me in cold weather and you put me near mountains, I can, I can survive. I can put on my Patagonia and get my heart rate up, but it's a lot more difficult to get your heart rate up when there's no elevation going on. So that's my excuse. And apparently, to publish a book, you need to buy ISBN numbers. Yeah. Am I giving Florida right now? I'm trying to give Mountain. I wear my mountain shirt, Mount Rainier, and I put on my hat that says Forest. But I guess, like I said before, you can take the girl out of Florida, but you can't take the Florida out of the girl, you know? You just can't. So you need to buy ISBN numbers, and it was $300 to buy 10 of them. And I knew I needed at least 3, and I'm just learning all of this, but you need a different number for a paperback version, a different number for like an ebook, and a different number for a paperback. So I knew I needed at least 3, and each one was going to be 125. So I decided to buy the pack of 10. And I'm really hoping that it does well. I hope it sells, and I hope that it helps people. And I want to continue writing. That's my passion. Hiking and writing are my passions, and now apparently talking. I have been silenced a lot of my life, and now that I have a forum where I'm able to talk and not feel a sense and have that like underlying confidence a little bit higher and self-esteem a little bit higher, I'm not as afraid of like, oh, what are people going to think? And I think that's just kind of the part of getting older too, is like accepting your voice and really loving your own voice and having an idea of like what it actually is. And that's kind of been my, but what? Um, yeah, and honing yourself as a person. And that's just not something that you come to unless, I think most of the time, but some people never come to it. But I think that there are some elements that help it along. And I think staying single to where your energy isn't clouded by somebody else's energy, or if you have a partner that they let you have your own energy and you're able to explore yourself as an individual and not just how much is a rose? I have no idea. Um, yeah, just having the space to get to know yourself as an individual outside of a partnership, outside of friendships, and outside of family is so important. Some people don't desire that, and that, you know, not everyone desires that. However, I desire it, and I love getting to know myself as a person. And there's a fucking bug, man. And I'll always be, I think till the day I die, I'll be on a quest to get to know myself. Hey, Elmer. Uh, I'll be on this forever quest to get to know myself as a person, not because in maybe a little bit self-centered kind of way, but so that I'm able to help others. I think the more you know yourself, the more you can inspire that in other people too. And you know, I just have like some beliefs and some philosophies, and at the end of the day, I just want to share, what this thing is all about for us, queen energy, warmth. What my thing says, good vibes, warmth, good vibes, empowerment, authentic connection, whimsy, and laughter. Those are the core elements of forest queen energy. Do you guys see this bug in my hair right now? Can I flick it? I don't even know. I don't even know what kind of bug that is, but I certainly have a lot of them in my room. I do not desire sending you $10,000 in real life. I wouldn't either. I feel like my mom got scammed on like a Western Union before, and she lost $5,000 because she thought she was buying a car and she Western Unioned it, and she lost that $5,000. And that'll forever be in my memory because I felt so bad for her at the time for losing that $5,000. I was like, shit, I could use $5,000, let alone $10,000. I could use 5,000. I could use $50. Let's just put it that way. But that's why I'm trying to put out this book. I'm trying to make an honest living. And I was talking to Doug earlier because my family thinks that me doing they first of all, they are not supporters of me writing my book. They're not fans of me going on my hiking trips. They are not, yeah, certainly not fans of me having my own live stream. They think that it's basically prostitution, and they think I'm basically whoring myself out to the internet. And I was like, I don't think I'm whoring myself out to the internet. Um, and I was like, even if you thought I was doing that, I would love some roses. I would love roses. My mom's boyfriend just got her a dozen roses, and I almost brought one of them upstairs for me to do this live stream, just to have it near me so that I could, as almost a way of like manifesting. And check out this. Keep your clothes. I'm keeping my clothes on. Yeah, I'm not prostituting myself on the internet. I'm literally just being myself. And I was like, if that's not enough for the world, I'm okay with that. I've had enough interaction, authentic interactions in real life. And I consider the people that I interact with here on authentic connections, unless they're disrespectful. And then I gotta shut them down. I gotta shut them down. But this is also kind of a reason why I got this tattoo. And I only have one tattoo. Um, I'm not a big tattoo. I don't, judge people for having tattoos. And it kind of adds a little bit of edge on a dude. But at the same time, a lot of the dudes that I've gone out with um, don't have any tattoos because, yeah, I don't know why. Um, can't tell you why. So I don't know if the camera can fucking see it. You're not really, you're not really getting a good view. I need a new tripod. I like this tripod, but you know what I would really like? One of those things that like moves around to where you are. That would be so cool. But you could kind of see the tattoo a little bit. It is a key with a rose on it, and it symbolizes an enchanted garden, and which is kind of a metaphor for my imagination. And if I can't have something in real life, and I wasn't brought up with a bunch of money, I don't have a bunch of money. A lot of the things that I've enjoyed with friends and, all this and that through time have been very cheap, simple things. And what is this person doing? Yeah, I don't know, punk out. I have to figure out how to like kick people out of here because although I welcome some prodding sometimes because it gives me some practice on how to deal with assholes. Um, Not that I don't want that practice, by the way. But I need to be able to block people out because this is a safe space. This is a good vibe space. I'm a little bit of a hippie here. I it just a good vibe space. So if we can get like punk ass out of here, that would be like amazing. Punk ass, you know what you did. You know what you did. I'm not even reading your comments right now. So yeah, but my tattoo is a symbolization for my imagination of this other world that is romantic and it's fantasy, and it has all the beautiful things, beautiful flowers, and I love my like skeleton key because it reminds me of the book The Secret Garden, and you had to have like a fancy key to get into the garden, and then you were just like basically transported to this beautifully aesthetic, peaceful, yeah, just beautiful world. And that's what I like to do in my head is I like to transport myself into beautiful yeah, yeah, give me advice then. I'm old. I need advice. Please. Please give me advice. I'm begging. You little asshole. Um, but yeah, I love my imagination and that I can do that for myself because I think that that keeps me mentally well as well because I have the ability to transport. And I did that a lot as a kid. If anything, let's just say unpleasant was going on, I would transport myself into another world where none of that existed. And when you're young and everything, you don't have control over your circumstances. So the only control I had was my imagination inside of my head. And I was like, whatever ugly is going on, I can transport myself to a beautiful place. And I love that for me. And I love that um, I have that for myself because not everyone has that degree of an imagination. And I think we could practice it. I think if we all could close our eyes and, you know, just pretend like you have a paintbrush and imagery from either, books that you've read or there's a ladybug on the phone. Um, things you've seen in life or things from your past or your present or just fantastical things that don't even exist yet. If you could just weave together something fun, you can transport yourself wherever you want, if even, for a moment, just as a way, a way. Let's just keep it at that. Hello, you too. Hey, Bradford. All right, so we talked about my imagination for a little bit and how I like to go to enchanted gardens and forests. I would love, yeah, that's kind of the thing I'm manifesting right now is this like enchanted forest concept. And me and Doug are gonna open up a bar. When Doug gets his inheritance, I know he's gonna listen to this. Like, Doug, when you get your inheritance, we can open up Forest Queen Energy Bar and we'd make a shit ton of money. We might, we might be too old then, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can still make it a whimsical, joyful place, if even just for us. So let's see what else I had on the agenda. I'm probably going to leave this here soon. If anyone has any comments or questions. Um, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I'll leave it at this. Okay, so we were talking about like the disapproval from people in my life for me even having a live stream. One of my friend, I kind of got off my Instagram and I'm trying to see like who takes notice. So one of my friends asked me to go to, he's having like a chicken wing party, and it sounds like a cool concept for a party actually. He's going to have a bunch of different sauces, and there's going to be ice cream and blah blah blah. But I'm just kind of like in a salty place. I don't really have like the gas money to go down to Virginia right now anyway. So I was like, yeah, I'm not able to make it. Have fun at the party, blah blah blah. And then he asked me what I was doing, and then I was like, oh yeah, I have a new gig. I was like, I'm live streaming on TikTok. And he's like, oh, congratulations, blah blah. And it sounded like he thought that by me saying gig, that it meant that I was actually employed by TikTok. And I was just like, you know what, this is just going to be the inside joke with myself. And I'm just going to tell people that I have a new gig. It's called TikTok. And they might just assume that, this is an actual job and I'm actually getting paid for being on here, whereas I'm not making 1 cent from being on here. But I love that it can be like my inside joke, like, oh yeah, congratulations to me. This is my job now. And I'm making a shit ton of money. I can make up whatever the fuck I want to make up. Yeah, I'm making a shit ton of money. This is my new gig. This is my job. And I this is funny. Yeah, as soon as I get off of this today, I'm asking ChatGPT on how to block people. So thanks for reminding me. But yeah,